Morning, children. I hope you all are fine at home. Today, let us learn about Human Genome Project. In short, it is called HGP. What is Human Genome Project? Human Genome Project is sequencing the nitrogenous bases in human DNA. Clear? Sequencing means what? Arranging. Human Genome Project is arranging the nitrogenous bases present in human DNA. The sequences in DNA will determine the genetic information present in that organism. The arrangement of nitrogenous bases in the DNA determines the genetic information present in an individual organism. The genetic makeup of an organism lies in the DNA sequence. So, for example, if two individuals are different from each other, that means their DNA sequences also should be different, at least at some places. Clear? What is a Human Genome Project? It is the arrangement or it is the sequencing of nitrogenous bases present in human DNA. The sequences will determine the genetic information of an individual organism. If two organisms are different from each other, that means the DNA sequences are at least different at some places. And this Human Genome Project is called a mega project. It is a normal 2-mark question in your board paper. Why Human Genome Project is called a mega project? So if you take a haploid human genome, it consists of 3.3 into 10 to the power 9 base pair. The cost or the expenditure part for sequencing one base pair is of $3. For sequencing one base pair, the amount required is of $3. So, to sequence the entire human genome, the cost of the project is $9 billion. Clear? So it is considered to be a which project? A mega project. Now after sequencing, if you want to store the information in the form of a book, how many books we need? We need 3,300 books. Each book consists of 1,000 pages and each page consists of 1,000 letters. So just imagine how much amount of information a DNA is having in a single human cell. We want to store the information present in the DNA of a single human cell we need 3,300 books. Each book consists of 1,000 pages and each page has 1,000 letters. That is why the project is said to be a mega project. And this project is closely related to bioinformatics. So what is bioinformatics? It is a interdisciplinary field of science. It combines biology with computer science, information engineering, mathematics and statistics to analyze and interpret the biological data. Clear? It is combining biology with computer science, information engineering, mathematics and statistics to analyze and interpret the biological data. Right? Why it is called a mega project? To sequence one base pair we need $3. To sequence the entire human genome, amount required is of $9 billion. And again, to sequence the DNA present in a single human cell and to store the information, we need 3,300 books. Each book consists of 1,000 pages and each page consists of 1,000 letters. So, the project is said to be a mega project. What are the goals of Human Genome Project? What are the goals? So, first goal is to identify approximately 20 to 25,000 genes in human DNA. At least we have to identify 20 to 25,000 genes in human DNA. Second goal is to determine the sequence of 3 billion base pair that make up the human DNA. Third one is to store the information in databases. Fourth one, to improve the tool for data analysis. To analyze the data, we need certain tools. And then transferring the technology to other sectors such as industries. So, for example, some of the human gene may have its impact in industrial use. So, transferring the technology to other sectors such as industries. And then addressing the ethical, legal and social issues that may arise from the project. So, what do you mean by this? So, for example, when we transfer a human gene into another organism, right? For example, I am transferring a human gene into a bacteria. That means the uniqueness of a human being has been diluted. So, it may lead to some ethical issues, legal issues and social issues. So, you have to address all these things. So, what are the goals? This is a usual 3-mark question. One is to identify approximately 20 to 25,000 genes present in human DNA. We have to determine the sequence of 3 billion chemical base pairs that make up the human DNA. And then we have to store the information in databases. To analyze the data, we have to improve the tool and we can transfer. For example, after sequencing, we will be studying the function of each and every gene in our body. So, transferring this related technology to other sectors such as industries. Then we have to address what are all the ethical, legal and social issues that may arise out of this project. So, these are the goals of Human Genome Project. Now, what are all the methodologies used? Here we are using two methods. One is expressed sequence tag. Another method is called sequence annotation. So, in expressed sequence tag, we are identifying the genes that express itself as RNA and protein. That means we are arranging only the exons. Clear? This approach focused on identifying the genes that express itself as RNA and protein. Second method is called which one? Sequence annotation. It is a blind approach. Here we will be sequencing the whole set of human genome that has both exons and introns, that is both coding and non-coding sequences. Later we are assigning their function. So in first case we are arranging only the expressing sequences of DNA. In the second case, we are sequencing the whole set of human genome. Afterwards, what we are doing? We are assigning their functions with the sequence. That these are the two methods that are used in Human Genome Project. So here you can see. So this is the DNA of a human. The blue color part represents the exon, that is expressing sequence. The red color part the intron, that is the non-expressive sequence, or it is the intervening sequence or a non-coding sequence. So exons and introns are intermingled with each other. So next, what is happening? Splicing process takes place. During splicing, all introns are removed and all exons are joined together. So sequencing, the expressing sequence of DNA is called which one? Expressed sequence tag. Here we are sequencing only the expressing part of DNA. Now sequence annotation. So here we are sequencing the entire human genome. So first what we have to do? We have to isolate DNA from a human cell. Then it should be cut into small fragments. So how to cut the DNA? The DNA can be cut into small fragments with the help of an enzyme called as endonuclease. By applying this enzyme, we can chop the DNA into small pieces. Now this DNA can be transferred into the host organism with the help of vector. Here the term vector refers to carrier. So first what we did, we cut the DNA into small pieces by using endonuclease enzyme. After that, fragments are transferred into the host. The normally used host is either a bacteria or yeast we are using. And a commonly used vector here is of bacterial artificial chromosome or yeast artificial chromosome we are using. Right, so that the function of the vector is to carry the human DNA fragment into a bacterial cell or into a yeast cell. Now you may ask why we have to transfer it. So for example, I am having only a small piece of human DNA, but I want to make many copies of it so that I can study in a better way. So I want many copies of it. For that, I am transferring that either into a bacterial cell or into the yeast cell. So now what will happen? The introduced small piece of DNA get incorporated into the bacterial genome. And you know very well that 20 minutes is the generation time in case of bacteria. So human DNA also will replicate once in 20 minutes. So within a single day, I can get many copies of human DNA. Right? Then the cloning result into amplification of the DNA fragment. So easily we can isolate it from a bacterial DNA and we can sequence it. So for sequencing, first we are selecting a human cell, isolating the DNA, then by applying endonuclease enzyme, we cut the DNA into random fragments of smaller size. Then it is transferred into the host. The commonly used host is either bacteria or a yeast. And the vector is called a BAG, that is a bacterial artificial chromosome or yeast artificial chromosome. The purpose of introducing it into the host is to amplify or to multiply the human DNA fragments. Then it will be sequenced. Now for sequencing, which host we are using? The host is bacteria and yeast. Vector are BAC and YAC. Full form is bacterial artificial chromosome and yeast artificial chromosome. Now we have many copies. These copies should be arranged or it should be sequenced. For that we are using an automated DNA sequencer. To arrange these fragments, we are using a machine called as automated DNA sequencer. This sequencer works on the principle that was developed by a scientist, Frederick Sanger. Frederick Sanger has developed an automated sequencer to sequence the amino acids of protein. The same method is being used for sequencing the DNA fragments also. This is clear? We have got many fragments now. Now the fragments are to be arranged. For arranging this, we are using a machine called as automated DNA sequencer. And the methodology was developed by Frederick Sanger. He developed a machine to sequence the amino acids of a protein.